Okay, so welcome to this video on editing pages. The first thing to know about Joomla is that pages and articles are the same thing. So an article is a page, or an article page. Blogs can also be considered an article that sits in a category called blogs. So Joomla uses categories, or you have them to use if you want them. And I can get to articles and categories either here on the first page when I get in, or within content. So under Category Manager, you'll find this particular website has a couple different categories, one being magicians and theater productions. These are the two different kinds of content that live on this website. Uncategorized, which is everything else, and probably will be most pages on most websites will just live in here. And blog. So anytime a blog is created, it's created in this category. That way when I go to blogs, I'm just seeing blog content. And we'll look at that in other videos. If I go to articles, I can either get up to it from going up to Content, Article Manager, or just right here. And these are all the pages on the website. And this table gives me various pieces of information, the title of the page, whether or not it's published, whether or not it's featured, meaning appearing on the home page, the category it lives in, the ordering, which is just the order that it shows up in this list here, access, in this case it's public, so anyone on the internet can go and see this page when they get to the website without having to log in, who created the page, when it was created, how many hits to the page, what language it's in this case it's just all languages, and the ID, which is something you don't really need to pay much attention to. It's just a unique number so that it can tell the difference between each page. Let's go into a page now. Let's take a look at the About page. So I just click on the name of the page and it takes me in, and I'll show you some of the information that you edit when you're creating new content, as well as how to edit an existing page, which is essentially the same process. So the title of the page, which is About Chris Stoltz in this case, and the alias. The alias is used as the URL, and we want search engine friendly URLs. So when I go to the website itself and click on the page, that's the URL. Now right now search engine friendly URLs is turned off on this particular website for other reasons, but if it's turned on, and in most websites it will be, that's the URL. So a best practice here is use the title of the page with no spaces or special characters. I use hyphens in order to be spaces. So about hyphen Chris, about hyphen Stoltz. Category, this one just sits in uncategorized. It's just general pages and doesn't fit within either of these two categories. State, right now it's published. If I set it to unpublished, it would disappear and not be visible on the website. Access is public. That's just a default setting so that anybody can see it. If I go to set permissions, I can decide that only registered users can see this page. So I could create pages where you would have to log in to actually get that content. Featured, no, I don't want that to be a featured page on the home page. Languages I just set to all. I don't want to restrict the language. Over here, created by, so I can actually determine who created the page. In some cases with a website, I can turn on some additional options that show up above the content, say who created it and when, and some different stuff. I have those turned off. I just want them to read my content and not get distracted in this particular website. And the created date, just when it was created, it's automatic. And start and finish publishing is really nice. You can actually decide when this goes up on your website and when it comes off. So maybe I've created a page that I don't want to appear until August 31st of 2012, and I want it to come down on September 2nd of 2012. So I can set that, and that will automatically happen. Now, just note that if it's a main menu item, you want to do the same thing in the menu item itself so that it doesn't actually have a link up here that doesn't go anywhere on those dates. That's important. Taking a look down here, this is where you manage the permissions. We'll do a separate video on that later, but this is editing content. So if you use Microsoft Word or any editor of that kind, it's the same basic tool set. You can click on this to bring that open a little bit, and this is the content. So I can type and type away in this area. If I wanted to make it bold, I just highlight it, make it bold, or italicized, or underlined, or striped out, or in this case, all of the above. And if I wanted to make a link, I just type the word link, or any word you want, whatever word it is. Let's say I wanted to make my name a link. And I can go ahead and click on the little picture of a chain link. If you hover your mouse over any of this stuff, it'll tell you what it means with a tooltip. And I can insert a link. That's going to open up a nice little window for me. And I can enter the URL. And let's say I was entering Google. Target is whether or not it opens in the same window or a new window. I want this to open in a new window because it's going to an external site, and I want my site to stay open. Title, in this case, is Google. And class is kind of a custom little thing you don't really need to pay attention to. Clicking on Insert will now insert that link. Now you'll notice I have an image over here, and I created that by going down here to just below the content to Image. And that opens up a nice little window that's going to show me all of the folders under images on my website and all of the existing images that I have. I can click Browse to upload a file from my computer, or I can just click an existing image on this website. So I'm going to click on that one. Once you upload, by the way, it does show up in here, and then you follow this exact same process that I'm about to. Image, title, and description are usually the same, and this is cubes, because that's what the image is. Insert, and that will insert that right into my content. Now I want the text to wrap around that, so I'll right-click on it. I'll just click on it here, and I'll go up to clicking on image. And it just gives me some additional stuff. I'm going to say the alignment is left. And the dimensions I'll leave because that looks perfect. I don't want a border around the image, so I'm going to put 0. And you'll notice there's a little bit of space around the image. And so I'm going to say this is 8 pixels. And you'll notice it wraps around nicely and puts a little bit of a space around it. And all I need to do now is save the page. So I can either save it and continue editing, which is good to do every once in a while. I can save and close, save and new, which will start creating a new page, or save as a copy, which means that it's no longer the original page. It saves it as a copy of that page. So I could use a page as a starting point for creating a new one if something is similar about them. In this case, I'm just going to close it because I don't want to edit this page on this website right now. Anyhow, that's editing a page, and that's about it.